I poured coffee into my mug that morning in our Miami home, the steam rising as my phone buzzed on the counter. The message from Maria read, "Helping mom today. Back tomorrow. Love you." 8 years of marriage, and this excuse again. I set the mug down and typed back, "Sounds good. Take care." But something felt off. Maria had used this line too many times lately. The front door creaked open behind me. "Good morning, Juan," Maria's mother said as she stepped into the kitchen, keys jingling in her hand. Maria Garcia, my suegra, stood there after what must have been a 12-hour shift at the hospital. She poured herself coffee without asking. "Long night. Double shift as usual." I froze, phone still in hand. "Maria said she was helping you today." I showed her the screen. Her eyes narrowed. Maria set her mug down hard. "I haven't talked to her since Sunday dinner. And I don't need help with anything." The words hung between us. My wife had lied to both of us. I opened Maria's laptop on the counter. Her password was our anniversary, easy to guess. I pulled up her email and turned the screen toward Maria Garcia. The inbox showed messages from Diego Ramirez. The latest one: "Booked our usual room at the El Paso Inn. Tell the old man you're helping mom again." Haha. Maria Garcia's face hardened. She scrolled through more. Plans for weekend getaways, photos I wouldn't describe, and texts mocking me for believing her stories. 8 years you've worked construction jobs to support her architect dreams, she said. And this is how she repays you. Diego Ramirez, Maria's old college boyfriend, the one who dumped her senior year for some sorority girl. She cried over him for months, Maria Garcia added. Guess they've reconnected. I closed the laptop. What do we do? Maria Garcia met my eyes. This is your marriage, but she's used me as cover. That makes me part of exposing her lies. We refilled our mugs and sat at the table. Nothing illegal, I said, but she needs to face consequences. She nodded. I've raised her better than this. If she acts like a cheating teenager, treat her like one. We planned simply. Maria Garcia would text Maria about picking up groceries after helping mom. I'd drive to the El Paso Inn on Route 9, a rundown spot for truckers and cheaters, and confirm what we knew. If she's not there? Maria Garcia asked. Then we find where she really is. But my gut says Diego's the type to book the same room every time. Cheaters have habits. Her phone buzzed, Maria's reply. Can't today, Mom. Helping with your meds, remember? Maybe tomorrow. Maria Garcia snorted. Meds? I take 2 blood pressure pills and a multivitamin. Save that text. Evidence. I grabbed my truck keys and headed out. The El Paso and looked the part. Peeling paint, a flickering neon sign, parking lot full of out-of-state plates. I spotted Maria's silver SUV right away, parked crooked near room 237. I pulled up 3 spots away and called Maria Garcia. Found them. Now what? Wait. When they come out, make sure they see you. Let them know they're caught. I leaned against my truck. Too late for caution, suegra. I already married her. It didn't take long. The door to room 237 swung open. Maria stepped out first, glancing around nervously before heading to her SUV. Diego followed, adjusting his shirt. He looked like a mid-level manager pushing 40, trying too hard to relive college days. They whispered and laughed, oblivious until I stepped forward. Maria? My voice stayed even. How's mom doing? Her face drained of color. She stumbled back against the door. Diego tried to play it cool. Juan, right? Diego Ramirez. Maria and I were just. I know exactly what you just did. I smiled, the kind that unravels lies. Question is, does your wife know? Linda Ramirez, 42 Maple Street. Married 15 years, 2 kids. Ring any bells? Diego's expression shifted from smug to panicked. Maria looked ready to bolt. Juan, let me explain, she started. No need. Mom and I already talked. I held up my phone, snapping a quick photo of them both. Smile for the family album. Diego lunged forward. You can't. Can't what? Take a photo in a public lot? Pretty sure I can. I stepped closer, close enough they saw I wasn't backing down. But here's what I can't do, Diego. Can't figure how a guy steals another man's wife and acts shocked when he's caught. Maria found her voice. No one stole anyone. Juan, we need to talk. We will, tonight at home, with your mom there. She's real worried about you. I turned to Diego. You call your wife. Tell her dinner's late. Assuming you still have a home after she sees these. I walked back to my truck, leaving them arguing in the lot. Through the rear view, I saw Maria cry as Diego peeled out in his SUV, stranding her. My phone rang. Maria Garcia. How'd it go? Better than planned. Her boyfriend just ditched her in the motel lot. She chuckled. Good. Let her call an Uber. Give her time to stew. I started the engine. Suegra, one more thing. Can you be at my place by 6? I want Maria to see you when she gets home. Show her the lies are over. I wouldn't miss it. I took the long way back through Miami's streets, past palm-lined roads and the construction sites where I'd built my business from nothing. 8 years of 60-hour weeks funding our life, and it was all a front for her affair. The house felt quieter when I pulled in, like it knew change was coming. I made a sandwich, cracked a beer, and waited. Maria Garcia arrived at 5:30 with a casserole dish. Thought we might need dinner. Long night ahead. Thanks. In 8 years, you've never cooked for me. Maria's been lying who knows how long, and now I get home meals. Maybe I should have confronted this sooner. We sat at the kitchen table, two people betrayed by someone we both loved. The casserole warmed up fast, better than anything Maria had made lately. Juan, what about the long term? Maria Garcia asked. Honestly, I'm done with lies, done being taken for granted, done paying for a marriage that ended months ago. My phone buzzed. Maria, home soon. We need to talk. I showed Maria Garcia. Showtime. Stay calm, she said. Don't let her twist it. 20 minutes later, the key turned in the lock. Maria walked into the kitchen and stopped dead when she saw her mother at the table. Mom, what are you doing here? Maria Garcia looked up innocently. Dining with my son-in-law. You know, the one you said you were helping today? Maria's eyes darted between us. I can explain. Save it, I cut in. Tell Mom where you really were today, and yesterday, and last weekend when you helped her clean the garage. She collapsed into a chair, realizing her web had collapsed. How long have you known? Doesn't matter. It's over. Maria Garcia stood and slapped her daughter's cheek, sharp, deliberate. 8 years, she said quietly. 8 years I've watched this man love you, provide for you, endure your moods and demands. And this is your thanks? Maria touched her cheek, tears falling. Mom, you don't understand. I understand perfectly. You're selfish, spoiled, thinking the world owes you. It doesn't. And one owes you nothing. I watched my wife cry and felt nothing. No pity, no urge to fix it. Just clarity. Our marriage was done. Maria, I said, pack a bag. Stay with your mom tonight, or Diego, or that motel room. But not here. Juan, please. We can fix this. Fix what? The lies? The affair? Using your own mother as cover? Maria Garcia winced but stayed silent. That was a mistake, Maria whispered. People make mistakes. Mistakes happen once. You chose this. Every lie, every meeting, every time you came home pretending. She looked to her mother for support. Mom, say something. What? That it's okay? That one should forgive and forget. Maria Garcia shook her head. I love you, but this is unforgivable. Maria stood slowly. Fine. I'll pack. But this isn't over, Juan. We have a life, a house, joint accounts, 8 years. She headed upstairs, slamming drawers. Maria Garcia and I sat in silence, listening to the end of my marriage. You okay? She asked. Better than in months. Truth feels good, even when it hurts. Maria came down with her bag and laptop case. She paused at the door. This isn't how I wanted it to end. Then you shouldn't have started it. After she left, Maria Garcia helped clear the dishes. She'll fight you for everything. The house, money, all of it. Let her try? I have photos, emails, texts, and you as a witness to her lies. I thought of Diego's face when I mentioned his wife. As for him, a few photos to the right email will handle that. She laughed, real this time. Juan, you'll be fine. As she left, I realized she was right. For the first time in years, I felt like myself again. Not the fool, not the betrayed husband, but Juan Sanchez, the man who'd built a construction business from scratch, bought this house with his own hands, trusted the wrong woman, but smart enough to end it before it was too late. The next morning, I woke to silence in the house. No Maria rushing around. No demands for coffee, just how she liked it. I checked my phone. 3 missed calls from her, 2 texts begging to talk. I ignored them and headed to the kitchen for coffee. Maria Garcia had texted too. How are you holding up? Need anything? I replied, fine. Thanks for last night. 8 years of marriage, and now this quiet felt like freedom. I drove to the construction site on the edge of Miami, where my crew was framing a new office building. Tomas, my foreman and oldest friend, clapped me on the back. Juan, you look like you slept for once. Everything good? I nodded. Getting there. We started work, measuring beams, directing the crew. The physical labor cleared my head, but Maria's lies kept surfacing. How long had she planned this with Diego? Around noon, my phone buzzed in my pocket. Maria again. Meet me at the park by the bay. Neutral ground. Please. I stepped away from the site and called Maria Garcia. She's pushing for a talk. What do you think? She paused. Go if you want, but record it. Protect yourself. I agreed and drove to the park, a spot we'd walked early in our relationship. Maria waited on a bench near the water, phone in hand. She stood when she saw me. Juan, thank you for coming. I kept distance, hands in pockets. What do you want? She stepped closer. To explain. It wasn't planned. Diego and I reconnected at a work conference 6 months ago. One thing led to another. 6 months, longer than I thought. Why lie about helping your mom? I asked. She shifted. I didn't want to hurt you. You're always working, building the business. I felt alone. I pulled out my phone, starting the voice recorder discreetly. Alone enough to use your own mother as cover? We saw the emails, Maria. The motel rooms, the jokes about me. Her eyes widened. You went through my laptop? Left it open. And Diego's texts? Tell the old man you're helping mom. That's not alone. That's betrayal. She reached for my arm. I pulled back. Juan, I made a mistake. We can fix this. Counseling, whatever it takes. I shook my head. Fix what? The marriage you threw away? My phone vibrated. A call from an unknown number. I silenced it. She pressed. 8 years, Juan. Our home, the business we built together. Don't throw it away over one slip. One slip? The timeline didn't match. How many slips, Maria? The emails go back further. She hesitated. A few times. But Diego means nothing. It's you I want. I ended the recording and turned to leave. I'll file papers today. We're done. Back at the site, Tomas noticed my tension. Trouble. I told him everything. The affair, the confrontation, Maria's pleas. He whistled. That explains the late nights you covered for her. Diego Ramirez? The banker from downtown? Married guy? I nodded. His wife Linda works at the same bank as Maria's friend. Tomas grinned. Send her the proof. Let karma handle it. That afternoon, I met Rachel Gonzalez, the divorce lawyer Tomas recommended. Her office was straightforward. Desk, files, no frills. Adultery in Florida strengthens your case, she said after I showed the photos and emails. No alimony for her, and we protect your business. You started it before marriage? I confirmed. Bought the house pre-wedding too, but added her name later. She noted it. We'll argue against equitable distribution favoring her. Timeline. Filing today, hearing in 3 months, if uncontested. As I left, my phone rang. Linda Ramirez. Heart pounding, I answered. Juan Sanchez. Her voice was sharp. I got an anonymous email with photos of my husband and Maria. Is this true? I stayed calm. Yes. Motels, texts. I'm divorcing her over it. She paused. Maria's my colleague. How long? At least 6 months. Sorry you found out this way. Linda sighed. Don't be. Diego's been distant. I'll confront him tonight. Thanks for the honesty. Driving home, I felt the first twist of relief mixed with anger. Maria had tangled our lives with others. At the house, I started sorting papers, joint accounts, business records. Maria Garcia stopped by with leftovers. Heard from her. I shook my head. Park meeting. More lies. We sat at the table. She called me, Maria Garcia said. Crying, saying you're overreacting. I told her to own it. Night fell, and Maria showed up at the door, bag in hand. Juan, let me in. We need to talk properly. I blocked the entrance. Not tonight. Lawyers filed. She pushed forward. You can't lock me out of my house. I held firm. Your key still works, but stay out until the court's order. She dialed Maria Garcia. Mom, tell him. On speaker, Maria Garcia said, You made your bed, Maria. Sleep in it. Maria hung up and stormed to her car. But as she drove off, my phone buzzed. A text from Diego. Stay away from Linda, or your business goes public with rumors. Threat? I forwarded it to Rachel. Plot twist. Diego wasn't running. He was fighting dirty. I called Tomas. Need a favor. Know any cops? He did. His brother-in-law on the force. For harassment. The next day, work dragged. Crew finished the framing, but my mind raced. Maria texted nonstop. This is destroying me. Please. I blocked her. At lunch, Tomas pulled me aside. Checked with my brother-in-law. Diego's got a history. Small fraud at the bank. Swept under. Use that. Armed with info, I met Rachel again. Leverage it, she said. We'll subpoena his records. Evening brought another twist. Maria Garcia called, urgent. Maria's here, drunk. Saying you'll ruin her career. I drove over. Maria sat at the kitchen table, Bottle nearby. Juan, you win. But Diego's furious. Says he'll expose your shady deals on jobs. I recorded discreetly. What deals? She slurred. He knows from me. Under the table payments. Lie or truth? My stomach dropped. If she spilled business secrets. I confronted her. You told him about my contracts? She nodded. To impress him. Juan, forgive me. Maria Garcia intervened. Enough. Go to bed. Outside, I told Maria Garcia. She might have leaked more. She hugged me. We'll check. Protect the business first. Back home, I reviewed files. No missing money, but calls to clients confirmed. One bid undercut suspiciously. Diego? I texted Linda. Any word? She replied. Divorce papers served on him. He admitted the affair. Said Maria fed him info to sabotage you. Proof. Rachel filed a restraining order against Diego for threats. Days blurred into routine. Work, lawyer meetings, avoiding Maria's calls. She moved to a motel, job shaky from absences. Tomas rallied the crew, extra hands on site, morale high. You're the boss who delivers, he said. She doesn't define you. One night, plot twist hit hard. Anonymous email, bank statements showing Maria siphoned $5,000 to Diego's account over months. For our future, a note read. I forwarded to Rachel. Embezzlement angle. Strengthens no alimony. Fury boiled, but I channeled it. Updated security on accounts. Planned business expansion. Maria Garcia visited. She's begging to come home. Says she'll end it with Diego. I laughed bitterly. Too late. The money trail seals it. We planned. She'd testify to the lies. As she left, I felt the tension build. Not just revenge, but rebuilding. Diego's threats faded. His wife cut him off. Maria's world crumbled, piece by piece. But the real twist? A call from my accountant. Audit's clean, but Maria had forged a signature on a loan app in my name. To fund her projects with him. Evidence mounted. Court date loomed, and I was ready. Not for violence, but justice. The lies had tangled us all, but truth would untie them. Weeks dragged after the threat started. I filed the restraining order against Diego that same day, and Rachel Gonzalez moved fast. Florida courts take adultery seriously, she told me over the phone. With the photos, texts, and now this harassment, we push for a temporary order on assets too. I agreed. No more joint access until the hearing. At work, the crew finished the office framing ahead of schedule, but my focus slipped. Tomas noticed. Juan, take a break. We've got this. I nodded, but stayed, hammering nails to burn off the rage. Maria called from a block number that afternoon. Juan, stop this. Diego's losing his job because of you. I put her on speaker for Rachel, who listened in. Because of me? He threatened my business. She laughed bitterly. He's protecting us. Meet him at the coffee shop on 5th. Alone. Trap? I declined. No meetings. See you in court. Rachel jumped in. That's attempted intimidation. Document it. The call ended, but the seed of doubt lingered. Had Maria fed him more dirt? That evening, Linda Ramirez stopped by the site as we packed up. Juan, thanks again for the heads up. She handed me a folder. Diego's bank logs. He transferred money from our joint account to Maria, $5,000 over 6 months. I flipped through, dates matching her conferences. She knew about this? Linda nodded. Admitted it when I confronted her at work. Said it was loans for their trips. Plot twist. Maria wasn't just cheating. She was stealing from both marriages. I thanked Linda and forwarded it to Rachel. Embezzlement claim now, she said. Strengthens your no alimony push. Night brought the first real confrontation. Maria showed up at the house after dark, pounding on the door. Let me in, Juan. I need my things. I opened it a crack, phone recording. Court order says no. Take what you packed last time. She pushed past, grabbing clothes from the closet upstairs. I followed. Why the money, Maria? To fund your motel dates? She froze, then spun. It was ours. You work me to death with your jobs. Lie. She barely showed at her architect firm lately. Joint account, but you drained it for him. I showed the logs. Her defiance cracked. Diego needed it for the room, the dinners. You wouldn't notice. I stepped back. I noticed everything now. Get out. She threw a shoe at me, missed, and stormed down. But as she reached the door, sirens wailed outside. Tomas's brother-in-law, Officer Ruiz, pulled up. Restraining order violation. Ma'am, you need to leave. Maria glared. This is my home. Ruiz cuffed her briefly for the push, then released with a warning. She drove off fuming, but the incident report went to Rachel. The next day, mediation loomed. Mandatory in Florida for contested cases. Rachel prepped me. 4 to 6 months total if we settle here. Don't budge on the business. At the courthouse, Maria sat across the table with her lawyer, a slick guy from downtown. The mediator, a neutral woman, started. Assets first. House pre-marriage, in Juan's name primarily. Maria's lawyer pushed. Equitable distribution, half the value increase during marriage. Rachel countered. Adultery forfeits that, plus the theft. Maria interrupted. Juan, please. I ended it with Diego. Lie. Text from Linda showed recent calls. The mediator separated us. In my room, Rachel whispered, she's bluffing. Push on the money. I nodded. Back together, I said. Return the $5,000, or it goes criminal. Maria's eyes darted. Fine. But alimony, 6 months, minimum. Rachel laughed. No. Florida bars it for fault. Tension peaked as Maria slammed the table. You're ruining me. The mediator called a break. During the pause, plot twist 1. My phone buzzed. A call from Maria Garcia. Juan, Maria's here. She confessed. Diego pressured her into the transfers. Said he'd leave his wife if she helped. I relayed to Rachel. Leverage. Mediation resumed. Maria's lawyer whispered to her, then offered. No alimony if you drop the theft claim. Rachel. And she vacates the house immediately. Maria signed, defeated. But as we wrapped, her lawyer added. One condition, no contact with Linda. Too late. Linda had already filed against Diego. Driving home, relief mixed with unease. Settlement meant faster end, 3 months total, but Maria's desperation worried me. At the site, Tomas updated. Client loves the work. Bonus coming. Good news, but then Ruiz called. Diego's in custody. Tried to withdraw more funds before Linda froze the account. Mentioned Maria in interrogation. I hung up, heart racing. Maria had dragged us into fraud. That night, Maria Garcia hosted a quiet dinner. Casserole again, her way of supporting. She called me crying after mediation, she said. Blames you for everything. I set down my fork. The money, the lies, it's on her. We planned her testimony for the final hearing. I'll tell the truth, Maria Garcia promised. 8 years of watching you build, her destroy. Days later, the second plot twist hit. Anonymous tip to my business line. Check Maria's work email. I had Rachel subpoena it. Easy with the settlement clause. Results. Maria had shared my bid details with Diego, who passed them to a rival contractor. 1 job lost, 10,000 down. Sabotage, Rachel said. We amend for damages. Fury surged. I confronted Maria via text. The bids? You cost me jobs. Her reply. Diego said it was harmless. Help me now. No. Court hearing approached, 4 months from filing. Rachel filed motions. Protect business assets. Bar Maria from contact. Judge granted temporary relief. Maria moved to a cheap apartment near her work, but rumors spread. Colleagues whispering about the affair. Her boss called me. She's missing deadlines. Any issues? I stayed neutral. Handle it professionally. Tomas rallied friends for a barbecue that weekend. No alcohol, just support. You're free, man, he toasted. Linda joined, post-Diego split. He confessed everything. Maria initiated the money grabs. We swapped stories, her isolation mirroring mine. Strength and truth, she said. I nodded, feeling the shift, from victim to survivor. But climax built fast. Maria cornered me outside the courthouse after a status check. Juan, one last talk. Rachel advised against, but I went, for closure. In the hall, she begged. Drop the damages. I'll disappear. I recorded. Admit the sabotage. She did, voice breaking. For him. I was stupid. Handed to Rachel. It sealed her fault. Final hearing day. Judge reviewed evidence. Photos, logs, confession. Adultery proven. No alimony. House and business to Mr. Sanchez. Minus equitable share adjusted for theft. Maria got minimal. Furniture, small payout. She stood, silent, as the gavel fell. Outside, she approached. You won. I walked away. Justice, not winning. Driving to the site. Sun high over Miami. Tension released. Crew cheered the news. Maria Garcia called. Proud of you. The marriage ended, but my life rebuilt. Stronger, wiser. Diego faced charges. Maria, job loss. Consequences caught up, legally, fairly. The gavel's echo faded as the judge signed the final judgment. Maria stood across the courtroom, her lawyer whispering final advice. Dissolution granted. No alimony due to proven adultery and financial misconduct, the judge stated. House and business remain with Mr. Sanchez. Ms. Sanchez receives 15% of the marital assets, adjusted for the $5,000 theft. Restitution ordered within 30 days. She nodded stiffly and walked out without a word. Rachel clapped my shoulder. It's over. Clean win. I exhaled, the weight lifting after 4 months of hearings. Driving back to the site, Miami's heat pressed in, but my mind cleared. The crew had the office building's roof on, progress without the drama. Tomas met me at the gate. Heard the news. Beers after? I agreed. First round on me. At the bar that evening, friends gathered. Tomas, Linda, even Maria Garcia. To new starts, Linda toasted. Her divorce from Diego finalized last week. He moved to Tampa, jobless after the fraud charges. Karma's swift, she said. I raised my glass. Truth is. But consequences rippled. Maria called that night from her apartment. 1. The judge was unfair. I need help with the payout. I blocked her. Court order barred contact. Rachel handled responses. Comply or face contempt. Maria Garcia texted. She's struggling. Lost her architect job. Boss cited the scandal. I replied. Her choices. 8 years of support, and she'd burned every bridge. I focused on the house. Changed locks fully. Updated the deed in my name alone. Work surged next. A new contract came in. Warehouse remodeled downtown. Your reputation's gold, the client said. Heard you handle pressure. The crew pushed hard. We finished the office early, earning a bonus. Tomas suggested expansion. Hire 2 more. Ride the wave. I did, interviewing locals at a coffee shop. 1 applicant, Carlos, impressed. Fair boss, no drama. By week's end, payroll grew, business stronger than pre-marriage. Maria's fallout deepened. Linda shared updates. Colleagues shunned her at the firm. She tried networking, but whispers about the affair killed it. Plot twist 1. Maria attempted to contest the restitution, filing a motion claiming I coerced the confession. Rachel quashed it fast. Frivolous. Fines incoming. The judge added $500 to her tab. Maria Garcia visited, bringing empanadas. She showed up at my door, begging money. I said no, earn it. We talked plans. Her testifying helped, but now? Date again, she urged. You're free. Social life stirred. Tomas set me up with Sophia, a teacher from his wife's school. Coffee turned to dinner. She listened to the saga without judgment. Sounds like you dodged a bullet. No rush. I kept it light, focusing on stability. But tension simmered. Anonymous calls to the site, hang-ups. Rachel traced 1, Maria's number. Harassment addendum to the order. Police warned her. She stopped. Months passed. Business hit new highs, second contract signed, crew at 12 strong. I renovated the house. New kitchen counters from a supplier discount, turning the space mine. Maria Garcia joined for Sunday lunches, our bond like family now. Proud, she said. You acted with honor. Diego's trial loomed. Fraud charges stuck. He faced 2 years probation, restitution to Linda. He named Maria in statements, she told me. Said she pushed the transfers. Plot twist 2. Maria tried reconciliation through a letter to the court, claiming remorse and offering to return the money. Rachel reviewed. Manipulation. Ignore. But it forced a follow-up hearing. Quick, 30 minutes. Judge, motion denied. No new evidence. Maria arrived, spoke briefly. I regret it all. I stayed silent. Action spoke. She left with another fine for filing fees. Life normalized. Sophia and I hiked the Everglades one weekend. Trails clear, talk easy. You're building something real, she said. Work challenges arose. A delayed permit on the warehouse. I negotiated with City Hall, pulling strings from years of fair deals. Resolved in days. Tomas promoted Carlos to lead a team. Your leadership shines, he said. Maria's rock bottom came via news. She moved back with her mother temporarily, waitressing at a diner. Humbled, Maria Garcia reported. Asks about you, says sorry. I nodded. Heard it before. No response needed. The law handled justice. Linda started dating, crediting the truth for her freedom. We both won. One evening, alone on the porch, I reflected. 8 years gone, but lessons gained. The business thrived. Annual revenue up 20%. Hired an accountant to audit everything. Clean. Sophia invited me to a family barbecue. I went, feeling roots again. No revenge plots left, just forward motion. But a final ripple. Maria's lawyer contacted Rachel about a settlement tweak. Dropped the fines for a clean record. No, I said. She pays full. Judge upheld. Maria complied, wiring the funds. Closure. Maria Garcia called. She's changing, therapy, job hunt. But you? You're thriving. I smiled. Took time. The sun set over Miami, projects lined up, life rebuilt. Betrayal scarred, but resilience won. No loose ends. Consequences closed the chapter. 1 year after the divorce finalized, the Miami sun beat down on the new warehouse site as my crew laid the foundation. Business had doubled. 3 major contracts secured. Crew expanded to 15. I directed the pour, concrete mixer rumbling when Tomas handed me a water bottle. Juan, you haven't looked back once. Proud of you. I nodded. Took time, but yeah. Sophia, now my steady partner, waited in the truck, waving. We'd met 9 months ago. Her patience through my guarded start paid off. No rush to remarry, just building steady. But Maria's shadow lingered in small ways. Rachel called that morning. Her restitution check cleared. Full amount. Good. 5,000 plus fines, wired last week. Any contact? I asked. None. Order holds. Maria Garcia updated weekly. She's stable now. Waitressing full-time, therapy twice a month. 8 years of marriage, and her choices led here. I felt no glee, just closure. The law demanded accountability. She paid it. Work wrapped early. Sophia and I drove to Maria Garcia's for dinner. Tradition now. She greeted us at the door with hugs. Juan, Sophia, come in. Casserole chicken tonight. We sat at her table, simple meal steaming. Maria stopped by yesterday, she said. Wants to apologize in person. I paused, fork midway. Not yet. Maybe never. Sophia squeezed my hand. Your call. Maria Garcia nodded. She's changed, admits the sabotage, the lies. Diego's probation ends soon. He avoids her. Plot twist 1. That evening, my accountant flagged an anomaly. Old loan in my name, the one Maria forged. Paid off, he said. But source? Her diner tips. She'd scraped to clear it, avoiding charges. Rachel confirmed, voluntary. Shows remorse. I stared at the report. Not forgiveness, but respect for effort. Monitor it, I told her. No response to Maria. Actions over words. Life deepened. Sophia and I planned a trip to the Keys. Weekend getaway, no drama. At work, Carlos led his team flawlessly. I promoted him. Learn from the best, he said. Tomas and Linda joined us for game nights. Their friendship a buffer against old pain. Recovery timelines vary. Mine hit 18 months of steady progress. Therapy sessions tapered, triggers rare. Infidelity's shock faded. Anger turned to wisdom. Maria's next move came via letter, delivered through Rachel, court-compliant. Juan, I destroyed us. The affair, money, bids, I chose wrong. Therapy showed my selfishness. No excuses. If you ever want peace, I'm sorry. I read it twice, then filed it away. Sophia asked, reply? I shook my head. She knows. Plot twist 2. Diego's hearing leaked. He testified against Maria in exchange for leniency, admitting she initiated the fraud. Charges dropped for her. He took the hit. Probation extended. Assets seized. Linda called. Justice served. He named names to save himself. Maria Garcia shared the news over coffee. She's devastated. Lost the last bridge. I sipped. Consequences. We talked recovery. Her watching Maria grieve, me rebuilding. You forgave me for her lies, she said. Not forgiveness, understanding. Sophia joined, adding, healing stages, shock, anger, acceptance. You're in growth. True. 2 years post-discovery, joy outweighed scars. Business milestone, ribbon cutting on the warehouse. Crew, clients, Sophia there. Mayor shook my hand, model for Miami builders. Tomas toasted. From betrayal to breakthrough. Laughter flowed, no mentions of the past. Home that night, Sophia cooked, simple steak, our ritual. Proud of your strength, she said. I pulled her close. Ours. No kids yet, but talk started, future open. Maria's final reckoning. She enrolled in community college, architecture redo. Wants redemption, Maria Garcia reported. I nodded. Hers to earn. No contact, boundaries held. Diego relocated, jobless, alone. His wife thrived, ours did too. 2 years in, full circle. I visited my parents' gravesite, quiet plot outside town. Built it back, Dad. Stronger. Wind rustled, peace settled. Sophia waited in the car, patient. Back home, I reviewed books, revenue up 30%, savings rebuilt. Therapy ended, triggers gone. Moral landed clear, lies erode, truth liberates. Revenge through law brought justice. No violence, just accountability. Maria bore her weight. Job loss, isolation, self-repair. I chose honesty, gained freedom. Sophia and I walked the beach at sunset, plans for tomorrow. Betrayal taught resilience. Life rewarded it.